So we found ourselves an article from GameSpot today, and it's talking to the creator of Bioshock, that franchise, and of course he's been working on this game right here, Judas, which actually looks like a really good game. And he brought up some very, very good points, and that is after 50 years of video games, the game market still doesn't exactly know what they are. So we're going to talk about this article, and there's some things in here that are thought provoking. So let's go. Of course, Bioshock creator thinks we still don't really know what games are after 50 years, which is 100% true. Technology is expanding at such a rapid rate that I don't think even game developers know exactly what they're doing. Veteran game developer Levine has shared his thoughts on generative AI, his latest game, and has high stakes, and why he believes we still don't really know what video games are. Um, Talking to GI.biz, Levine has said he believes that generative AI is a very powerful tool, which it absolutely is, that he doesn't want to underestimate. That's the biggest problem because, I mean, granted, I actually did some research on this. AI's been around since the 50s, is where they really started looking into developing AI. But AI as we know it today has only been the way it is since 2010, where you could ask it a question and it would respond, which is kind of crazy. Um, his response is: you look at Sora, the Chat GPT video generator. You see a woman walking down the street, and the street scene is beautiful. But if she were to turn around and walk backwards, it wouldn't remember where she has been, he said. It doesn't currently understand persistence, although that may change, which I mean, it definitely will change over time. Everything is going to evolve and it's going to change. But the problem is when you give AI a direct, okay, this is what I want, it's going to give you what you want. But when you ask it to slightly tweak anything, that's where stuff becomes a problem. My 9 to 5, I'm actually an air traffic controller for my 9 to 5. This is something I do for fun. I've been told for the last 15 years, that's how long I've been a controller for, that AI is going to take over. AI is going to take over. Technology is going to take over. I'm not going to have a job. That's never going to happen because of the human factor. When it comes down to it, humans, whether it's AI, whether it's setting a course or anything, humans always have to be involved due to the fact that, like he says here, it doesn't understand persistence, or it doesn't understand when something doesn't go exactly as planned. How do you plan for that? Expect the unexpected. AI definitely has a massive issue with that, so that's why, me personally, I ain't worried about AI taking over my job anytime soon because they need people like me to come in and fix problems for people that don't know that they have problems. It's kind of crazy to think that, isn't it? And also, if you guys have any questions about being an air traffic controller, you just let me know down in the comment section. I'll answer anything for the most part. Anyways, continue on. Many are concerned about AI taking jobs from humans, and video game executive Andrew Wilson of EA believes that will happen. It will happen, but it's not going to be in our generation, probably not even the next generation. I genuinely believe that AI should be used as a tool to aid people, not take people's jobs. But Levine said AI still has ways to go as it relates to creative storytelling. Um, and I'm not gonna lie, I've read some of those AI like created scripts, and it definitely requires a lot, and I mean a lot, of human intervention to make the script better and make it good. Because they'll give you a basic construct like a skeleton of a story, and like all the details of it are oh, it's so bad. Here we go. So for all the concern about AI, have you seen it write a good 20-page movie yet? Scene to scene, it doesn't know how to do that. Absolutely right. This is why Levine, like him being one of the creators of Bioshock, I'm not like, that's a series that I I love the original Bioshock. At least once every 2 years, I go back and I play the original Bioshock. And Bioshock Infinite is roughly the same. Every 2 years, I go back and play it because it's such an amazing game. Now, don't get me wrong. The second one, you tried, buddy. You tried. But the first and the third one, amazing. For now, the useful parts of AI for game developers are focused more on technical elements, Levine says. For instance, training your bug database to query about how many bugs you have in certain situations. But what it can't do is tell me a really compelling story and that has a three-act structure, or even tell me multiple scenes. It gets extremely confused. Anything, like I said, anything that's very, shall we say, complex is where AI really struggles. Levine says no generative AI was used in the development of his newest game, Judas, outside of the advancement to bug database. Okay. Right now, I'm not overly impressed when it comes to game development. I'm sure there will be more to it in the future, but I'm not super worried about it yet. In a it's coming to take everybody's job perspective, he said. Absolutely. Like I said, there's always going to be human interaction, human intervention, where the human has to take over and course correct and fix whatever it's working on. Also, in an interview, he discussed how the story of Judas has incredibly high stakes. This part I actually agree with. We've actually never made a game before really where the stakes were this high, and that's a specific reason, he said. This is the problem with Marvel movies. Every fucking 5 minutes, the universe is about to end, and eventually that stake can become sort of meaningless. Absolutely, I agree with him. Me personally, give us like one main, thought provoking, hey, this is the stakes, and then do the slow build up to that stake instead of being like, the world's going to end, stop. The world's going to end, stop that. That is annoying to me. And that's one thing that Marvel has done is like, I feel like every movie, it's something. And the last couple Marvel movies have been really, really terrible. Deadpool Wolverine, probably the only one in a long, like probably the last 4 or 5 years have been really good. I prefer to avoid that because a player will feel rushed. You want to keep the stake dramatically high, but you also want to make it feel like they can do what they want to do what they want to do, and explore their environment down to every square inch. He added that the story and scope of Judas was much smaller when development began, but it grew as the team's ambitions grew. Judas has been in the works for more than half a decade, and Levine said one of the reasons for this lengthy development period came down to its setup and being a game that's responsive to players' choices. You know, I have no issues with games taking, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 years, as long as they're good. That's the problem with a lot of these games. They're copy paste, cookie cutter. I have a feeling this game, Judas, I've watched some gameplay footage on it, and then on top of that, Levine, with his ties to Bioshock and how he can help tell a story, I have faith that this game's going to be good. That's really a hard problem. That's why you don't see a ton of it in game, he said. Levine also spent time during the interview talking about how he believes that video game developers are still trying to figure out what a video game is and can be. That's all right. Let's read this quote and then we're going to put my thoughts on that. Our industry is over 50 years old and we still don't really know what it is, what games are. By the time movies were 50 years old, they were making Citizen Kane. Great movie, by the way. It changed somewhat since then. The styles had changed, but they had it pretty well figured out by the 1940s. We haven't, he said. When it comes to the video game market versus movies, the problem is movies are a rigid construct where you can go watch it and it never changes, right? Where a video game, I can go and play a video game and play the same level and play that level 50 different ways. It's always fluid. It's like a Rubik's Cube that fights back. To try to really put a construct on the industry or a video game, period, to me, really bottlenecks it and stops it from being creative. what I want from a video games, I want it to be creative. Go out there, make risks, make that video game your own. Take risks, not make risks. Take risks, make the video game your own, and just go from there. Where when it comes to movies, I can't remember. I think it's like there's 6 different types of movies out there, and all of them follow the same construct. And it doesn't really stray too far from it. Why? Because the fucking construct works. Judas is in development for the PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X, and PC, though a release date has yet to been announced. For a lot more, check out GameSpot. Anyways, let's go full screen. Yeah, so all seriousness, in my honest opinion, I like Levine's take on a lot of this stuff, especially when it comes to the AI. I think AI is a good thing. I think that it's going to aid people. I don't think it's going to take people's jobs. Also, to try to put video games in a box really takes away from what video games are, which is it's constantly moving, constantly evolving. I think AI is definitely a good thing when it comes to video games because they can turn around and procedurally generate environments and constantly changing stuff. Use it for the AI in the video games. I know ray tracing, I believe, I can't remember, but there's a ray tracing program that allows your GPU to learn like all kinds of stuff to cut down on the usage. There's all kinds of stuff that AI can do that can really help and aid us in making it great, making the experience even better. But we need people like Mr. Levine here to write an amazing story and allow people to enjoy it and allow the game to flush itself out. Anyways, you guys, don't forget to mash that like button, subscribe. Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. Do you think the gaming industry is going in the right direction when it comes to AI, using it as an aid, even though they're, Activision has been caught using AI to generate whatchamacallit, cosmetics. Anyways, you guys, have a great, wonderful day, and I'll catch you later. Bye!